Do I even have to say it? Wow. This phone is wow. So here's a full review of the Moto G5 Plus. This phone has been nothing short but really fun to use. And battery life, of course, is off the charts. It's got the Snapdragon 625 in there. So this is a winner. So let me start with the cons, I guess, if you will, or things that I didn't understand. But okay, so as you see, I don't have any buttons on the screen because I've been using the one-touch home button for all the navigation. And so that home button can quadruple up to all. So you swipe this way and you get back, swipe this way, you get recent, long press for a second, it turns the screen on and off, long press a lot longer and a little bit more harder, and you get the Google Now assistant. But the home button, I don't think a lot of people are going to get used to that, like what Motorola or Lenovo thinks they will. But overall, though, it's a good idea. Just not ready yet for prime time, I guess I'll say. That's my experience with it. It is easy to do, but it's definitely something that it's going to take a lot of people some time to get used to, and that's just a fact. So, home button, not my favorite. But I wanted to test it because Motorola said it was so great. Lenovo said it was so great, and it's the wave of the future, pretty much. It's a good idea. I'm just not used to it yet, and that's all that is. It's going to take me a little bit longer to get used to it. Another thing is screen size. Screen size is 5.2, and it could have been 5.5 easily, or it could have just been 5.7. But I think they do this because they don't want to kill off and make their budget pocket-friendly phones better than their high-end phones. I'm pretty sure this is why they do this, because they can definitely fit a 5.7-inch screen in here. Leave the screen, or at least a 5.5. Leave the on-screen buttons away and put capacitive buttons, and then stretch it on up. So get rid of that Motorola logo up there. Thin out these bezels. You got a winner, and it's definitely a winner. So screen size, not my first choice, but I can deal with it because I use a Galaxy S7, so I'm fine with that. It's great for one-handed use. Now, I wouldn't call it a con, but this phone is probably going to need a case. It is a slippery device. It's slippery. I don't really care about the camera hump. That doesn't bother me. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the design of this phone. I think it's really, really sweet. But this phone definitely needs a case. It's very slippery. And you've got like these, not fake chamfered edges, but you can see like the little shine. That's a chamfered edge. It's just not boxy, so it almost looks fake, but it's definitely a nice design. Metal chassis, metal body on here is really, really sweet. I really, really enjoy it. I really like the design of this phone. Just a little slippery. Not so much really a con, but it's just slippery. So tech specs on here, you've got a 5.2-inch 1080p display, a single firing speaker there, really, really nice and loud. You've got a 12 megapixel camera on the back with a 1.7 aperture, just like the Galaxy S7. But I can tell you that this camera is good, but I don't know if it's S7 good. Doesn't have optical image stabilization, but still perform very well. Not a lot of bumpiness and walking around and things like that. As you can see, I got a microphone on the back there for noise cancellation, and then you've got another microphone on the bottom down there. USB Type-C was excluded from this phone. Why, I don't know, but they have their own reasoning for it. But you get a headphone jack, and you get a headphone jack. You get a headphone jack. You get a Ridge power button. You get an SD card slot. This is the 64 gig model, and it does come in a couple of colors. The battery is 3,000 milliamps, so the battery is fantastic on here. It does have a Snapdragon 625 in here, and it's a powerhouse. So how's this phone been treating me? All that techie stuff. Look, how good is the phone? Flat out, the phone's good. This is a must buy if you're on if you have a limit that you want to spend on a cell phone and you're ready to purchase. You're not just buying just because you need it and you're in 2017. Buy this phone. 64 gigs on board storage option, 4 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 625, beautiful, very vibrant LCD display, bumpy cam. It does have Gorilla Glass 3, but who cares? It's 300 bucks. You know, it's not that bad. Front camera is really good. 5 megapixel camera on the front is really good. Shoots in 1080p. Rear camera shoots 4K and also shoots 1080p at 60 frames per second. So, you know, this is a winner. This is a good purchase. This is good. Overall, though, my experience with the device, it's been good. You know, I mean, some people are going to ask, is it better than the Blade V8 Pro? Yes, I would recommend this over the Blade V8 Pro. I know this costs more money. But you know, I think the stock experience on here, like a real stock, and you get the Moto gestures, just this build quality, I think is really solid. I like the way it looks. I mean, some people might like, now the Blade V8 feels better than this phone, but this phone looks a little bit better than the Blade V8 Pro. And it seems to be the main competitor for a lot of people that ask me about that. But I would definitely recommend this. Spending this, because there's a version of this that costs $229, but you don't get the Snapdragon 625. And so that's the downside. However, the chances of you getting an update, and this also comes with Nougat as well. So the chances of you getting an update later are probably pretty good. You know, the cameras on here are better than the Blade V8 Pro. You know, and I'm just answering these questions because people have asked this, and I should answer them during this full review. But overall, though, folks, the speaker quality on here is really solid too. I think the highlight of this phone to me was the cameras, the build quality, the screen, and the battery life on here is just stupid, really good. I don't see myself not using this phone as a daily driver. It's a one-handed phone. It's pretty solid. You know, there's not much going into this because it's one of those phones that is so good. You know, I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about it. You know, the things that I pointed out that could have been cons or done differently, those are just my personal preferences. Some of you might disagree, some of you might agree, but the screen size, that home button, I don't know how people bought it. I don't know how you feel about it, but not my first choice in trying to navigate a phone. You know, I don't know. You know, it's just gonna take some time though, and I need to use it more. You know, but using it as long as I've been using it, it's definitely gonna take me a little bit more time to get used to. I really like the sleek design of this phone though. You know, it's a good phone. I would recommend it. It's only 300 bucks for the high-end model. So, you know, I think its closest competitor is probably, you know, the Blade V8 Pro, the Honor 6X, the Axon 7 Mini, you know, phones like that, because they're all in the same price range. And I think this phone definitely performs just as well, if not better. It definitely performs better than the Axon Mini, the Axon 7 Mini, but the Blade V8 Pro is a very solid performer. So, you know, that's just one of those things. The Axon Mini has the Snapdragon 617 in there. If it had the 625, it would be a tough phone to pass on because, you know, it has that front-firing speaker setup, and that's way better than this single mono speaker on here. Overall, though, I've been really impressed with this phone. Camera quality is good. I've got videos up on the camera quality. I've got other videos, so be sure to check those videos out as well. But that's just a real quick and brief and to the point. This phone is a must-buy. You can also get this, I don't know, when it first came out, you could get it for $185 for the lower end model and $239 for this model with ads from Amazon. So you do the math. If that's something that you want to get into, I definitely recommend that you do. This is a good buy. I don't know what to say. There's some phones that stump me, you know, but this is one that everybody ran out and purchased, and I think everybody is actually happy with their purchase. I've got it all set up. I don't have any problems with anything on here. Everything just runs really good. It's a solid performer. So it's your man Jay Will, full review for the Moto G5 Plus. It had some wow factor at the beginning, but you know, the wow factor wears off, and then, you know, this is just a solid performing device. Pocket friendly, literally size and value, and it's good. I'm still questioning why they didn't do a 5.5-inch display or a 5.7 in this body. I don't know. They put these killer cameras on here, great battery life, great processor. I don't know why they didn't go with a USB Type-C, but the fact that I have a headphone jack, I could deal with that. It does have turbocharging. You do get an SD card slot inside of there with the SIM slot. It's a good phone. I would just tell you, go buy it. Experience it. It's a beautiful device. I like it. Glad I picked it up. And, you know, maybe I'll grab another one with ads just to see the difference. Uh-oh, I hit the microphone a little bit. Maybe I'll grab another one with ads just to see the difference. But overall, folks, this is a must buy in 2017. You know, I don't know what else to say. You can save a lot of money by getting a device that has a Snapdragon 625 in it, opposed to buying some of the flagship devices out there that cost double the price. You'll probably still get the same performance, especially with a phone that's stock like this. You know, those Moto gestures are really beautiful. I really like it, have it on board. So there you go, man. Full review for the, this is a beautiful phone. It's just a little slippery. Maybe I'll get a D brand or something like that if they ever make them. You know, I didn't want to cover this up with a case. So I was kind of bummed out. I was like, man, you know, I don't want to get a case on this thing, but this is definitely one. I love all the features. I can do the chop. This is a bright LED on the back of there. I was coming up the stairs the other day and I used it, man. I was like, wow, this thing is bright, and I had it facing me. Yeah, full review, man. This is a good phone. It's probably one of my weirdest full reviews, but I just felt like talking in this video. But it's a good phone, and I would tell anybody to buy it. Sweet. Grab it with the ads though. I would say grab it with the ads, because the ads on the front of for the Amazon phones, they're not bad at all. And you can just put a different launcher on it too. It's your man Jay Will, Moto G5 Plus. Go buy it.